How's it going, YouTube? Oxy here, and welcome back. So, as the title suggests, there's just a lot of news going around, and it's really a great time to be a Godzilla fan. So, what am I talking about? Well, I touched on them like a long time ago. Admittedly, I haven't been keeping up with them as frequently. Like, behind the scenes, I have, off camera, I have, but I haven't like been posting about them and stuff. But there's if you know Toho, the company that owns Godzilla, I believe in 2025, yeah, it's their 70th anniversary. And every big milestone for Godzilla, it's Godzilla's 70th anniversary. They always do big things and leading up to it. And of course, we have the American Godzilla film starting with 2014 Godzilla, right? And, we're getting that new movie, Godzilla X Kong, where they're like working together. That comes out next year. Early too, if I'm not wrong. I think it's like in March, unless it's been like delayed or anything or moved up. But yeah, I'm excited for that. That's going to be a blast. But there was also a Toho developed, so a Japanese Godzilla film also that was going to come out this year, 2023. And of course, now we know it is Godzilla Minus One. That is coming out December 1st. Even here in the US, kind of like how Shin Godzilla had a small release out of Japan. So I'm very excited for that. We got a trailer for that, which I'm not doing a reaction to because Toho is extremely protective of their copyright, so that's like an instant, headache to deal with in in that sense. So I'm good. But there's that, and then on the U.S. side, of course, we have the new movie next year, but Apple TV, they struck a deal with Legendary Pictures and, well, Toho, of course, because they own Godzilla. They struck a deal to make a TV show based on Monarch, the company that's like studying what they call the Titans, all the big kaiju, right? And this show is called Monarch Legacy of Monsters. We also got a trailer for that. Same thing though. Again, when it comes to Godzilla, it's hard to cover without getting like copyright strike, But yeah. That show's coming earlier. November 17th is the premiere where we get the first 2 episodes. And from then on, it'll be like every Friday, I believe, up until January 12th. It's like a 10-episode pilot season, right? And hopefully it does good that they continue it. We know Godzilla will be in it. He was in it at the end of the trailer. It seems to be a new kaiju, almost like a bat-looking creature. Like, it's not Rodan, because you see it fly overhead. It's like clearly something else. So I'm glad to see them introduce new kaiju, specifically with Legacy of Monsters, this TV show. It's a pre-sequel at this point because it takes place. Okay. So that show, the premise is like we go to flashbacks. Essentially, it revolves around the family. I believe Kurt Russell probably plays like the grandfather or like older character. But the show spans like generations. I think like 3. So we're gonna have flashback scenes way in the past. So this movie takes place after Godzilla 2014, which. In the real world, first movie of the Monsterverse that came out. In the timeline, though, it's like second because Kong Skull Island, right, takes place in like the 70s. So that one chronologically is first. There probably will be scenes in this that take place around that, but in the modern times, it takes place shortly after the first Godzilla movie. So, King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong, and the upcoming Godzilla X Kong are after the modern events of that. Sorry, just had to explain it. It's not after. It takes place before, and we'll get backstory too. So, that's interesting to see. Definitely excited for that. It's on Apple TV, so... hey, maybe I bite the bullet, right? Subscribe, get a free trial to test it out. Maybe review the whole season. probably not episode by episode, because I think that's just like lazy. Like you're just reaching for content at that point. Yeah, it's like just do it all in one go, like when it's over. But you can give first impressions. But yeah, uh, yeah, Legacy of Monsters looks cool. I mean, not much to say. Just it's coming up real soon, so we got that to look forward to hold us over until, of course, the proper new movie, which I'm very excited for, because Godzilla and Kong are teaming up again. Well, they were enemies, right, in V Kong, but at the end they had to work together to bring down Mecha Godzilla. It was really Mecha Ghidorah if you think about it. Yeah, and then Godzilla Minus One, again, another Toho made movie. It's their boy, so I'm always liked it. I really like Shin Godzilla. It is definitely a slower movie. It's more like a talky movie, right? It's about meetings, but it's a good satire of like the Japanese bureaucratic system and how, like in a real world event, like, and let's say like Godzilla, but in a natural disaster, how long it takes to get stuff done, because you have to have endless meetings and this sort of thing. Like it's a good satire or just commentary on, like, you know, the Japanese government. So it's a good film. I mean, Shin Godzilla is a fantastic design, and when he's on screen, like that whole scene with when he does this purple laser and destroys the city, great. Like like cinematically, it's very beautiful. So I'm looking forward to this one, of course. That movie, Godzilla Minus One, and I guess those anime Netflix movies are what's part of the Reiwa era of Godzilla. So for those that don't know, the Godzilla movies, because there's so many of them at this point, are broken up into eras. So the American ones, that includes the 98 one, the big lizard, Zilla, and of course these modern ones, those are not part of it. The eras are strictly the Japanese movies. I mean, some people say these new ones are part of the Reiwa era, but anyways, the American ones are their own thing. So of course you had the damn, how's the name gonna slip me? Like, this is, I wanted, because Heisei is my favorite. Then there was Millennium, and then Reiwa. Wow, how's the name escaping me? It's literally the biggest. I'm probably, if I don't remember, I'm gonna have to put it on screen. Wow, that's really annoying. Like the Showa. There we go. Sorry, guys. Ooh, I was like, damn. Like, how do I not remember that? The Showa era. It has the most Godzilla movies, but it's the one where it definitely goes off track. Like the original movie is obviously a great, you know, it's a depressing movie about the dangers of like atomic weapons. But then after that, it just goes into full like schlock territory, where yeah, it becomes very kid friendly. So this one is more nostalgic for people. It isn't like that they're great per se. But Heisei was my favorite because it was like in the 80s. And that's where Godzilla, like Burning Godzilla, gets to like arguably his most powerful, and just has a lot of iconic villains like Biolante, Destroyer. Like it just had cool villains. Definitely like aged them up a bit. The Millennium era was like in the early 2000s. That's that one, and similarly Reiwa are like, a lot of the movies are not connected. I believe the only ones in that Millennium era that were connected were the Mechagodzilla 2 movie, I think, and then Tokyo SOS. But like, yeah, it's like a direct sequel. But every movie in that is like standalone, like its own thing. Just Godzilla fighting a new monster. And then in the Reiwa era, as I said, where we have Shin, Godzilla Minus One, which also, just like the Monarch TV show, takes place in the past. Like it seems like shortly after World War II. So it's probably one of those like ignore everything and it's a direct sequel to the original sort of thing, like Halloween 2018, right? That's the vibe it's giving. Yeah, the Reiwa era, again, we're only 2 movies in. I don't know if people count those Netflix movies, which of course those were their own trilogy. But Shin, Godzilla, and Minus One are not connected, it seems like. It wouldn't make sense for them to be unless it's like a different Godzilla, right? From the same species, but different creature. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up. Again, the TV show, like in 2 months. The Toho produced movie in December. And then, of course, the big American team up in like March of next year. So it's a great time to be a fan. I do wonder what's going to happen, like going down the line for both timelines, if you want to call it that, right? Like what are we going to see after Godzilla X Kong? Like, are we gonna see more maybe solo movies? Is Godzilla, like, will we see a Mothra movie, Rodan? Kind of like the old school, like they had their own movies before they went to Godzilla. They do like an MCU at that point. I love Bagan to be like the big bad. He's a character that like has always been left out. He was gonna have a movie, never happened. It'd be cool to see him destroy a guy. All these monsters we want to see, but it's like, yeah, let's see where it goes. And for Toho specifically, with Godzilla Minus One, it'll be interesting. I'm interested to see if they do more like the Millennium era, where they're all standalone films, or if we're gonna see like a sequel to that, a prequel. You get like a more connected narrative, so that'd be cool to see. Godzilla, I mean, at this point, he has like, I believe probably only the MCU or James Bond rival him. MCU probably has more now because of just how many characters. Like Godzilla is like a series with like the most movies ever. Sure, they like reboot it, but there's just so many. I think at this point it has to be over 40 or 40 plus soon. So yeah, love the big G, and I'm excited to see what comes of these projects. But yeah, guys, that's the video. If you didn't know, let me know down in the comments below. Are you excited? I know I am. I'm gonna probably check it all out. Hopefully the TV show's good and we can explore more as well. And Minus One, I mean, Shin was great, so I was pretty confidently can say I think it'll be good too. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and if you like this type of content, I make new videos twice a week usually. So please be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good jazz. And as always, everyone, I've been your host, Oxy. Take care, and I'll see you next time.